Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
PD Beats here from Popternative. We do Jeff Hiller and Murray Hill about season 2 of Somebody Somewhere, coming to HBO and HBO Max. It's good to see you both again. Welcome back to the show.
How are you, buddy?
I am doing good. I mean, we're getting more of this incredible show, so I feel like everyone's good, right? Let's be honest.
Hey, there's nobody that's more happy than Jeff and I.
Exactly.
It's crazy you say that. So, Jeff, that's the first thing. I mean, there's probably a lot going through your mind when you get that call that you get to make more episodes of this amazing show that has so many kind of elements. Are you focused on just in general, like where the story is going, your character specifically? Like, what is that mindset where you're going to be coming back to do more episodes of this?
Oh, I think you're being a little too generous. I was excited about was like, I still get to work.
Yes, I mean, I should have started that. I mean, besides that, you have a job.
But of course, I love this character. I love this show. So I mean, of course, like I had no idea where it was going to go, and any guess that I had was wrong. But I was thrilled when we got the call.
Absolutely. Murray, I find this interesting because when we did our first interview last year about the show, I think it was last year. It feels like a long time ago, but I think
I was 10 pounds lighter when we talked about it.
I'm just curious, we're going to obviously keep the spoiler free. There's, a lot for people to look forward to in this season, a lot of emotions. Was there an element in season 2 that you feel like there's more of compared to season 1 when you're reading the scripts for this that maybe we didn't have as much in season 1?
Well, I think with Fred, we without giving any spoilers, we get a little bit, inside his intimate life.
Mm.
Oh, I guess that's a spoiler.
Also, it just sounds a little different than what I remember.
Well, could we just say we get to know Fred Rococo more, who is like one of the best characters on television?
Fred Rococo fills out a little bit more, and you can, that can be taken in many different ways. But yeah, I think there's a little bit less of the showman of Fred this season, and a little bit more of kind of what makes him operate.
The human.
Yeah, the human part, the human part. And I'm gonna tie this in, buddy, to current climate. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think it's a good time in society where trans people are literally being attacked and vilified, in this country especially, to show trans people on media that are just like everybody else, that have the same heart, that have the same problems, that have the same joys. And so I think it's coming out at the perfect time.
For sure. No, I couldn't agree more. And I think one of my favorite things about this show, and this is a question for Jeff because it has to do with Joel, I just love the journeys of the characters. I mean, we were in one season and I feel like so much kind of happened with so many characters. And I feel like you kind of got to know a lot of the characters. And I feel like you look at Joel, I feel like this is a very complex character that we're very interested in because he's very pure, he's very kind, but he is kind of going through a lot of stuff. And you could see it kind of come out a little bit, and he's trying to hold it in and everything. How do you kind of prepare for a character like that, knowing that he is, maybe not like hiding anything, but he is like coming off like he's a good friend, he's pure, the friendship and everything, but like everyone, he's going through a lot and he's trying to keep it together. You know what I mean, Jeff?
Yeah. I mean, I don't have the idea of like, how do you prepare for a character like that? This is the only one I've ever gotten to play. So I'm just taking each script and looking at it and thinking like, if this were my life, how would I react? But what's really exciting is that for the 25 years I've been trying to be an actor, this is really the first time I've gotten to play someone who is three-dimensional and has things that are going on underneath, and it's a thrill to be able to do that. So it's actually really exciting.
Absolutely. Murray, do you feel like this show also hits hard because many people get to relate to somebody somewhere? I mean, it's a quick question, but I feel like that's one of the things. I feel like a lot of people relate to a lot of these characters.
Yeah, the thing that I hear a lot, and you don't know this about me, but I've had a lot of romantic relationships. So I got a lot of ex-girlfriends, and with a lot of ex-girlfriends comes a lot of ex-parents of the ex-girlfriends, and almost every single woman I've dated, their mother and their father have related to this show. And I'm talking about suburbs, West Coast, left coast, conservative religious people. And, and so I'm answering your question based on my ex girlfriend's parents' reaction. And they all say it's real. They can relate to the people in the show. And to me, that's like the barometer of we're actually getting the message across that we wanted to.
Yep.
When people across demographics, ages, and conservative backgrounds are relating to the heart and the guts and that. And then the other thing that people like to say is real is because half of the cast is chubby and the other half is skinny. So we don't look like, especially us two, we don't look like a lot of people on TV. So I think that realness comes across too.
Can you name a better duo than Fred and Joel? I don't think you can. Can you name a better duo than Jeff Hill and Murray Hill? Like when I saw you were paired for interviews, I was so excited. I actually got really excited. I saw the email and I was like, yes!
We got you, bro.
There is literally not a better pair.
No.
This is a very braggy interview where we're talking about how great we are and how many girlfriends he's had.
And he had some girlfriends too before he got his act together.
It's been a few years.
It's tough because I definitely we're walking on eggshells a little bit because we don't want to say anything. Because I honestly think this is also a very good show where maybe you watch a trailer or a teaser or something, but I feel like you want to go in fresh. Because it really is a ride and a journey with this show. Do you agree with me on that? Like going in fresh with somebody somewhere, I feel like is the best way to go.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's an easy watch. It's very easy to watch.
Yeah, some episodes are 16 minutes. That's a joke. They're 25.
Murray,
No,
remember last time?
a lot of people say it's like what he's talking about in layman's terms is it's like a weighted blanket, this show. Yeah. It's like eating mac and cheese when it's 33 degrees outside. People can go out for a steak dinner.
I might not have done that once. Maybe not 33 degrees, but I'm always that guy that orders the most random things when it's super hot outside.
Yeah. Imagine eating that mac and cheese while you had a weighted blanket. It's almost too much, and that's what the show is.
Yeah.
You might pass out.
You might.
We all did filming it, so.
No, it's so interesting. I want to kind of know, as much as you can kind of share. I mean, was there anything? Did it feel just like going back to work for season 2 specifically, or was there something that was a little kind of different about it? Murray, you kind of established we get kind of meet Fred a little bit more in his life and his relationships and everything, but did it just feel like going back to the family you had for season 1? Like, what did it feel like coming back specifically?
Well, it felt like going to a high school reunion that you actually wanted to go to.
Oh, wow. That's a great answer. That's such a good answer.
It's early too for me to come up with that material.
And I do wanted to kind of ask the family dynamic is still there. Like in terms of like what we can expect for season 2 without kind of big spoilers, we pick up right where we left off, but there is still that kind of friendship component, but the family component is a really big one as well. Is it safe to say, Murray, that we get kind of a little bit of both of those as well, where we do have that kind of, because that was my favorite thing about season 1. We had the friendship component, we also had the family component. And I don't know if there was one that kind of overpowered each other. I feel like it was a balance of both, which is what I really liked about it.
Well, you know what you call that? Chosen family. So I think season 2, it extends on that idea where you're finding your community, finding your people that not necessarily your biological family. Because as we know, Sam has a lot of troubles, with her family. So yeah, and I think, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but the chosen family can have just as many problems and challenges and ups and downs as biological families. So I think there's some of that within the friendships this season that we get to see.
Absolutely. Jeff, before we wrap up, when they get a chance specifically to watch season 2 of Somebody Somewhere, which is debuting soon. It's debuting April 23rd on HBO Max, which it's pretty crazy. What are you hoping they get out of it specifically, takeaway wise?
Don't say royalties. Sorry, not my question. Go ahead.
I hope that it feels like catching up with an old friend. I hope it feels like you ran into somebody that you haven't seen in a while and you have a really awesome conversation. It feels like no time was passed at all.
That is very well said. Both of you just came. Murray, you said like I just woke up, I'm tired, but you both came with amazing answers to this.
Well, it helps when we get asked some good questions.
Yes.
Jeff, Murray, it was so great catching up. Thank you so much for your time. It was really great chatting with you.
Thanks for the support, buddy.
No problem.
Season 3 interview.
Yeah, absolutely. Season 2 is going to be debuting on HBO April 23rd. So I can't wait for people to check that out, and episodes can be rolling out. And awesome. Well, this has been Pop Turner, youtube.com/PopTurner for previous episodes. Till next time, this is Jeff Hiller, Murray Hill, and Petey Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.